Oh my goodness, she is looking pretty strange if I'm honest. I think I need to build something that looks nicer than this next, because I built it and I don't think it looks that good, which is kind of unfortunate, but there you go. Anyway, in today's video, we need to set up I guess a steering place for this thing, so probably a wheel up here, and we need to sail this thing upriver all the way up to Sawyer North. So that is exactly what we're gonna do. Alright, well, I'm literally just gonna go ahead and delete these guys, shove that thing in there, and then connect it to the rudder on A and D if I can. Here we go. A and D goes all the way back to these guys. Yes. And that's what's going to allow us to turn, hopefully. Hopefully that actually works. And then our throttle is here, which actually maybe could go on W and S. And that would be fine, I suppose. So throttle there and throttle here, which means this can go away. And that's fine. Alright, everything else is merged together, I think. Yes, it is. We are ready to go. Alright, so start your engines. There we go. These guys should start firing out with exhaust anytime now. Anytime now. There we go. And then we're just going to go ahead and sail upriver. So we're going to be heading that way. Instead of going around the islands, which we could do, I suppose. It could go around this way. We're actually going to go through the islands and then out the top and round to here. I don't know if the steering's going to work very well, though. Let's see what the steering's even doing right now. Yeah, it is somewhat pointing in the right direction. But are we turning? It doesn't feel like we are. Alright, I'm going to add some more rudders. Alright, I added some rudders down the back. I'll actually show you guys where they are. There they are right there. So, yes, it is actually turning now. I do feel like sailing this thing up a river is probably not the best option, though. Because, if I'm honest with you guys, it's a little bit big, and not very maneuverable whatsoever. We also currently don't have a reverse gear, so that makes things even more difficult. So, in case anyone was wondering what I was talking about at the start, well, I want to say that this thing is just not... I don't know, it's not as pointy as I want it to be, and there is a way of us making it pointy enough. So I think that's kind of what I want. I want this thing to be more pointy and just more streamlined. So what we might do is actually rework the hull at some point. Or in fact, just start over again. But that's crazy. That is pretty crazy. Also, someone did mention maybe we should make the sails a little bit more evenly spaced. And I do tend to agree with that. I do. Because we got 3 at the front that are really close together. And then 3 at the back that are actually quite far apart, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh my goodness, I didn't even think about this, but look at how close to the actual, the seabed we are. Or the riverbed, I suppose, or the estuary bed. Yeah, I suppose it's an estuary, isn't it? Yeah, that is very close. I don't know whether it gets, shallower as we go. It might do. So actually going upstream is probably, or up the rivers, is probably not the best option here. Yeah, this is likely not a good idea. Also, the other thing is, we are currently only going a speed of 2 meters per second, which is extremely slow. And I think the reason for that might be that it is too hot. I think it might be too hot. And therefore... Oh no, does that make sense? I don't know, but these things have pretty much stopped moving, like. They're pretty much not moving. So, let me go in here and have a little look, see what's going on. So, the ignition is off, although the temperature is still going up. Weirdly. Wait, why is what? The temperature is still going up. I've got an idea. Okay. So, to turn it off, we need to throttle down to 0. There you go. That'll get rid of all of the smoke coming out the top. Let's see if this weirdly goes up now that we've turned it off. Because I think it might. Alright, no. I think one of our problems is I don't actually have pumps pumping the water and the steam around down there, so it's basically not really moving. So I'm going to go ahead and install some pumps, and we're going to see if that makes things better or worse. I mean, you can't really get worse than going 1 meter per second. So, Let's see. The only other problem that I think we might have is I don't think we fit under that bridge. The other bridges don't really matter because they're drawbridges, but that one does matter. All right, so this is steam in right here. So, just before we get there then, I'm going to add a pump. I'm going to use the smaller pumps. I'm sure that is fine. So, this should be in on this side, which it is, and that pumps the steam into said pistons. From there, we need to obviously pump the water out of the pistons into here. So, this is in, this is out, goes into the tank. Although, actually, maybe the tank shouldn't be there. I think, actually, the tank should go pretty much here, actually. So, delete these guys. Let's add a tank directly into there, which is going to be a large one. Doesn't have to be, actually, but it is going to be anyway. So, if I can put that there, that's correct. All right. Go ahead and turn this into fresh water, and it's only going to have, like, 10%, 11%. That's fine. Let's do that again. There you go, 10%. Let's do 11 just because the other one is. And fresh water. So it goes out of here. And I think I want to actually pump it in. So I want to add a pump somewhere. So I'll add a pump on the inside that continues to pump the water inwards. Yes. Alright, let's just do it. I'm sure it'll be fine. Here we go, pump. Like that. Okay, fantastic. That pumps the water back into the boilers, and then the boilers turn it into steam again, and then it gets pumped out up here. And there we go. We got a bunch of pumps in there now. Let's see if that helps things. Alright, let's try this again then. Now that we have pumps involved, maybe it's going to be better, maybe it's going to be worse, maybe it doesn't actually make a difference whatsoever. Who knows? But initially, as soon as it starts, obviously we get a good boost of speed. We get it up to like 7 or 8. But then it dies down, and I'm not entirely sure why it dies down. So that's what we're trying to sort out right now. Like, why is it slowing down? Alright, so it's at 6. Alright, but it initially boosted to like 8. And then by the time we get over there, it was at 1 last time. So let's see if that's the case again. You know, I could already see it slowing down, so I'm gonna change that again. We're gonna do some more modifications. Oh, we got up to 9 there for a second. And the main reason we got up to 9 is I'm not entirely sure. So there you go. Weird. And now it's falling off again. I don't know how steam works. Turns out, no idea. Alright, so I'm inside the engine bay, because I'm trying to figure out what's going on. So, this says the flow rate is 0, right? So, nothing's actually passing through here. So, what is the flow rate on this one? Nothing is passing through there. Okay, interesting. So, is anything actually passing through these guys is the next question. Okay, so there is some flow rate here. This is the water coming out of the pistons. Okay, currently there is no steam going into the pistons though, but there is flow rate coming out somehow. No idea how that's happening. And then what is this? This is the flow rate of the steam going into the pistons, and that is currently 0. So, what's actually happening is, nothing is moving around. Alright, so, just as we start, the flow rate here is, well, it's now 0. It's actually now 0, so what is it here then? Coming out of the pistons is also 0, so it's already like, had its burst, the burst went through. That's crazy though. That is crazy though. I took out the tank because I figured that would make sense. The temperature here is 0. Maybe the fact that there is, yeah, so much fluid volume going through these condensers. Maybe that makes absolutely no sense. So steam in. Yeah, then it's not actually doing anything on these ones. But it should be going in this one, out of this one, into here, which then goes out into this one, into this one, out to this one. But I think maybe I've actually just bottlenecked it so much with this that I'm going to try it with just one condenser and see what happens. Alright, so, let's go downstairs and see what's happening this time, now that we only have one condenser, so it doesn't get stuck going through all of the condensers. I don't know, so steam is going in, obviously water is coming out, which is exactly what we need. Yep, the fluid volume is staying relatively low, which is good. That's what we need. Steam is coming in, water's going out. Its temperature is actually staying relatively stable for now. And we are moving. Alright, let's see what kind of speed this thing is now going at, now that we've only got one condenser. 10. Yeah, so the steam was actually going through the condensers, getting stuck in the condenser maze, and then water was never actually going back into the system, which means we were actually just dropping off the entire time. So now we've got it going 10 meters per second. It's staying relatively stable. Kind of. Yeah, it's bouncing around a little bit. Let's see if we can get to that bridge and see what happens from there. Okay? So, maybe we've actually solved the problem. Aha, okay, so we're about to start having problems yet again. Alright, it's actually dropped to 9 at certain points. So let's jump down again and see what is happening down here. So is there flow rate in these guys? Yep, there is still stuff going on there. Alright, what about this one? There is lots and lots of stuff going on here. So not much steam is going in, but lots and lots of steam is coming out. Okay. So, is this bottlenecking now? There's no fluid volume in here, which means that this is actually working fine, although coolant doesn't seem to be doing anything. But the temperature seems to be level anyway. Alright, don't know what's going on there. And then the boilers themselves, this is the last boiler, is still working. Water in is still working, and steam out is still working. Okay, well, I'm just confused then. I don't know. Whoa! I just fell straight back down. I want to get back up there. Alright. So, we're slowly working this out. Slowly. It's now at 9. I think, honestly, maybe the fact that the temperature is actually so high is actually still a problem. Well, we're still moving, and it is dropping below 10 sometimes, but look at how far we've made it this time. So before, it was stopping pretty much around, well, that peninsula bit right there, which is not very far away from the docks. In fact, we can barely see the docks now, so it's working a lot better. But still not perfect if it's still dropping down. Anyway, that's not the whole point of this ship anyway. The steam is sort of like a backup, whereas the sails should be the thing that we are using most of the time. So it'll be interesting to see how useful the steam actually ends up being. But anyway, we're still moving. Let's see if we fit under this bridge. If we do, we're going to continue, and if we don't, I might cry. Ah, perfect. Okay, so the railway bridge has been lifted, so we're actually fine to fit underneath here, but I do believe we're gonna have to... Oh, this might be a problem. I don't know how quickly this thing's gonna be able to stop for the drawbridges, so I might go ahead and open up the drawbridges before we get to them. Yeah, I'm gonna open them all up, the ones that we need to go through. There we go, bridge is opening, and there's our ship all the way out there. Wait, the back end is so low in the water, I didn't notice that earlier. Interesting. Well, yeah, we're gonna have to get back on board anyway, because it needs to turn. Not gonna lie, I really don't like the fact that the bow is out of the water so much, so we're gonna have to try and sort that out next as well. Honestly, I'm not looking forward to doing the sails, although it would be cool if I could get them working properly. And just a heads up for anyone that is really into sails, I am gonna get them wrong. So, as long as they work, that's all I'm really bothered about. Alright, here we go, straight through the middle, and actually, it is completely fine doing this. That is great. If anyone's wondering, our speed is still between 9 and 10, so we're actually doing pretty good. It is staying relatively consistent, which is lovely. I should maybe do something about the temperature, though. It doesn't need to be running at 400 degrees. We only really need 180 or something, or even just 100, so I should do something about that. Oh, I changed something, by the way. I need to show you guys that I changed it. So, this right here is an air vent into a room with radiators. So, this is the way we are cooling things down now. There are about 6 radiators in there that are all cooling down that one condenser, which I feel like makes sense. So, as long as we can cool down through that one condenser enough, then one condenser should be enough. Maybe. I don't really know. As long as these pistons keep running, I am happy. Yeah. Uh-oh, next problem. That bridge right there doesn't look like it's been raised up as much as the previous one, so I don't know if we fit underneath it or not. Oh, this doesn't look very good. This really, yes, I do not fit underneath this bridge, and I am gonna cry. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Alright, I'm just trying to slam it in reverse to try and get the mast underneath, but there's no way I fit underneath there. I need a clutch on this thing too. We really need a clutch, because otherwise I can't actually stop. But yes, as you can see, doesn't fit underneath here. That's not very good. That is not very good at all, actually. Oh boy. Alright, we're gonna have to find another way around. Well, apparently there's a ship somewhere with a fire and 9 people that are about to die, because there's no way I'm rescuing them on this thing. Okay, so at least we have enough room within this lake thing to turn around. Does this have a name? I feel like this lake should have a name. But I'm pretty sure we'd fit underneath... Oh, would we? I don't know if we'd fit underneath that bridge either. So, realistically then, we'd have to, like, sail back out of here, back around to there, and then all the way around the outside of this island to get all the way around to the top. My goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, we've turned around, we are now heading back around the mountains, and we're gonna go down this way instead, which might actually end up being a longer... Yeah, you know, it's actually probably a longer distance to go this way than it is to go this way, and then back all the way around. So actually, I'll see you guys when I'm around, like, here, heading into the harbor, because, well, we might as well. There's not really anything that's going to go on around this area anyway, so I'll see you guys once we're at the harbor, pretty much. I'm going to go back this way and head all the way around. Alright, well, there's apparently a tsunami coming, but that's fine. Also, everything looks kind of weird on this ship right now, but that's mainly because I haven't changed the white from the build mode to the brown that it's going to be again, so I need to change all of that coloring, and then maybe it'll actually look a lot nicer on the top as well. Anyway, we also need to add a bunch of stuff on here. I do think I'm gonna, well, change the masts, but that's probably next time. In fact, we're gonna do the masts next time, then we're gonna have to do, like, the interior, and then we're gonna have to do a sail journey, possibly up to the Arctic. I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. But for now, we just need to get into harbor. I'm gonna change the color back, and then next time we'll do the interior. I think that's probably worth doing. Probably a bit of the interior and also a bit of the deck as well, because currently it is very boring up here, and I think more needs to be done up here to make it just that little bit nicer. And then obviously after that, sails. Yeah. Does that make sense? I also really want, like, a crow's nest so we can actually climb up there, but don't know when that's gonna happen, if that is even gonna happen. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, and I really need to install a clutch on this thing so that, well, so that we can actually stop it. I feel like that makes a lot of sense. Otherwise, we're just gonna continue to go forwards no matter what, and that is definitely a problem. I also really need to sort that out. I don't like the bow being so high in the air. It looks like a speedboat, but obviously it's a 100-meter long ship. It's crazy. It's very crazy. Anyway, let's get that clutch sorted and change the color back right now. You've got to be kidding me. The build area isn't set up for this one. Why? I can't actually get it in here right now, so I'm gonna have to try and sort that out for next time. So I guess that's where we're gonna leave it then. So next time, hopefully, I can sort this out and we can start doing the changes then. But for now, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed whatever the heck this was. We sailed from the south side of the island up to the north, and we fixed our steam, which is perfect. It now goes a speed of 10 meters per second, and honestly, that's not too bad. For now, thanks for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.